Yo, what it do, 2K fans? It's your boy JuKIng the Boss, and as you know, today the MyCareer trailer finally dropped. And so instead of going through piece by piece, there are a few takeaways that I have for the trailer. And if you want to see the full trailer in all its glory, sound, all that enabled, I'm gonna leave a link in the description for it. But let's break down the trailer a little bit and then talk about some of the best things about it. So first of all, the trailer itself feels like it's going to take place over the term of January 2019 all the way to around July 2019. And so there's a lot of travel in this trailer, what seems like. First and foremost is you play for a team called the Bay City Flames. This is the first team I think you play for, and I think it's a high school team that you'll be playing for. It seems as though it's based out of the Bay City basketball section in San Francisco. So first of all, you get your first little sample of basketball in high school. And the only reason I figured that out was because if you watch the full trailer, at one point you're told that, you know, you're throwing it all away 3 months before graduation of high school, not college. So that's going to be pretty cool. Second of all, the second thing you end up doing, it feels like, is when you playing in the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament in April of 2019. You can tell later on in the trailer, you'll see him wearing the PIT logo on his jersey while he's holding a ring near the end of the trailer. The next step will be the draft combine in June of 2019. So essentially, we can see the return of the draft, and that's gonna be pretty cool. So the trailer seems like it's only gonna take place over like a 7-month span. The last thing would be the NBA Summer League games, because you can tell at one point he's holding a Summer League championship. So it's, first of all, just to break that down real quick, like I said, it ain't too much to really break in and detail out. At one point you're in what looks like San Francisco. At another point you move over to New York. You can tell when he talks to Kemba Walker on that court had the logo that said NYCHA, which stands for New York City Housing Authority. So you're playing in what is a very urban environment, you know, low income environment, and it seems like the theme around it is fighting for what you believe is right. Now, the one thing I say about that is, as much people really don't like when social issues in the real world come into the video games, I'm not really a fan of that neither, but I don't mind it if it's being taken place before I get to the NBA. So once I get to the NBA, everything boils on to my performance, you know. So I did like the fact that for 2 years in a row, NBA 2K decided to go that route, and the prelude is literally just that. It's the story of your journey to the NBA. That's gonna be pretty cool. The next thing you can tell is the sheer amount of star quality to me. You know, like, a lot of these cats, I really do mess with quite a few things that they're in. Idris Elba all the way to Rosario Dawson, and my main man, I call him Winston on New Girl. One of the funniest brothers I've ever listened to, ever watched on TV. So that's gonna be pretty cool seeing that. Now, another thing that this trailer kind of helps me solidify, this is the final part of this whole video. The next thing that this trailer really helps me solidify is that the MyCareer and the MyPlayer builder are two pieces of a puzzle that shows you that there is no turning back for NBA 2K. Coming NBA 2K20, it solidifies that the MyCareer is not going to be a story that takes place throughout your NBA career. It's going to be a story that takes place before. It's going to be your path to the NBA, which is always going to be a plus, because once you get past the story, then you forge your destiny whichever way you want to. And that's great. Second thing, when you look at the MyPlayer builder, now, 2 days before Community Day, I said that the one true way that you should be able to utilize the MyPlayer builder would be to try out whatever build you want at whatever overall you want to try it out. So you can only, at that point, you can only see what truly is capable of the player that you put together. And so essentially that's exactly what they was allowing you to do. So that's why I didn't drop a video after Community Day, because most of everything was leaks and a piece of news here and a piece of news there. So recently, a couple days ago, I saw on Twitter a couple of screenshots. Now, I'm not going to show them here, mainly because I don't know whether or not these screenshots would cause 2K to want to, you know, kind of strike my channel, or, you know, make me put somebody else under the gun as to where I saw the screenshots at. But when I saw these screenshots, you can search, you can look for them. They showed you samples of how the MyPlayer builder is going to work. They're just a couple of screenshots, and I put 2 and 2 together from that, how you will be able to apply points to what you want to be able to do, and then as you go through your career, you'll be able to upgrade that and add those points in whichever order, whichever way you want to. So that's gonna be pretty cool. It literally goes back to 2K15 with a little blend of 2K14 in there as well, and the addition of being able to try these builds out while equipping whatever badges that you are going to try to earn takes you back to 2K17, where you earn them badges and you had to do certain things to unlock those badges. So that's gonna be pretty cool. And then there was another thing that I saw on Twitter where somebody was talking about how each badge utilizes a certain number of points. And now I can truly say that NBA 2K20 is finally going to be the RPG that they've been poising the game to be. And what I mean by that is that if you play role-playing games, in most role-playing games, you got three different levels, 3 different categories that you put your character in. You got a DPS character, you got a tank character, and you got a healer. Okay, so your DPS character, that's your person in NBA, that's your person scoring buckets. So that's gonna be your all-around scorer right there, your offensive threat. He's the person that's gonna be able to do the most damage to you because he's the one that's gonna be able to put the most points up on the board on you. And then you got your healer, which is more so your role player in the NBA that is all about getting everybody else set up in perfect position to be the greatest they can be. So that could be your playmaker, that could be your like tier 2 defensive player, or that could essentially just be a person who plays good perimeter defense and good switching defense, good off man defense, off ball defense. And then you got your tank. That's usually going to be the body down low in the NBA. That's the guy that's going to be able to take the most brunt. That's going to be a really heavily defensive archetype. So with the way that they're doing this, you look at the MyPlayer builder, allowing you to try builds with higher overalls, and realize that 2K can never go back from this. They can never turn it around. In 2K17, their biggest thing was to combat the demigods, and the single archetype was okay, but you realize that only the shot creator was truly OP back then. Then in 2K18, they allowed you to do dual archetypes, so have a secondary archetype to give you a chance to increase some of your other skills. And then in 2K19, they really utilized the same exact terminology, except they expanded on it a little bit better with a couple of better badge progressions. But 2K19 was really just about redesigning the neighborhood concept and the additional features that you can partake in NBA 2K19. 2K20 is always going to be is really going to be about the gameplay. So one of the best things about that is that if you're able to build your player your way, you can't blame 2K. You can't blame 2K if at the beginning you're able to choose where you want to apply points to, so that way you can get a certain stat to a certain overall level. Then 3 months from now, when somebody did it a little bit better and they sacrifice points here so that way they can get that extra boost there, you can't sit up here and say, well, 2K, why can't I do that? You could have done that because they allowed you to assign your points whichever way you wanted to. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how this is all going to fly. The MyCareer trailer looked great. Like I said, I'm going to put a link in the description below so you can check the entire trailer out in its glory. And just stay tuned for more NBA 2K news. It's a lot to talk about, but I don't really want to touch up on things that everybody else has already really hammered home. I just want to give you my opinion on the things that I see. And hopefully when we come back, when 2K drops, we'll be able to see if I was correct about the timeline for the MyCareer story. So the timeline for me that I'm guessing right now is going to take place from January 2019 all the way up to July 2019. And you're going to play for first the Bay City Flames. Second, you'll play in the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament. And then third, you'll be at the Draft Combine. And then fourth, you'll be in the NBA Summer League. And the best thing about the third and the fourth part, being at the Draft Combine and the NBA Summer League, is that you not even guaranteed that you will get drafted in the Combine. And if that is the case, maybe you'll get picked up by another team. Maybe that'll be the difference in your stories, depending on how well you play in the Draft Combine. As more 2K news drop, we're going to start dropping and diving deeper into it. The demo comes out in a couple days. I'm going to give y'all some of my own impressions on the demo when it does drop. We're going to go through different builds, and I'm building sort of the same way I built the past couple of years. I like the position that I played. I like the build that I had, and I'm going to try to recreate that build in all its glory. But now that I have the ability to kind of change a few things out, maybe I just do that. So I'm gonna catch y'all guys on the next one. I'm out.